Tell us about some of the other programs. So how about foreign languages?
Foreign languages. We teach both French and Spanish from the preschool all the way up to 8th grade. And by the time students are in 7th and 8th, then we have time just for the French. And I must say that our French teacher puts the children through a test called the Grand Concours, a French test where our 8th graders are tested at 9th grade level, and there are over 100,000 students throughout the whole United States who are tested. And our students are always in the top categories. 9 of them went off a couple weeks ago and got ribbons and medals because they had done so well. So we always
out of a class of how many?
Out of a class of 20.
So we had nine children out of 20 actually score highly enough to get acknowledged in their French ability.
Yes.
And in fact, a couple years ago, we had one student won. Actually, she was number one out of 100,000.
And what was interesting, this year we have 2 whose native home language is Spanish, and they've paid such close attention that they were in the top 5%. Isn't that nice?
It is.
That's beautiful.
Absolutely.
Now I'm going to talk about PE. Okay. Some places have cut PE. There's no way that I would ever cut PE. We have 30 minutes a day for all children, 5 days a week. And we have a park real close, so the 7th and 8th are able to go there daily and work out, play games. They need that. Children need that. And as part of that program also, Miss Boatman is really clear about nutrition. So she talks about 1 vegetable or fruit a week and emphasizes what are you eating, what are you having, and in a moment or two the children can let her know what they're eating, and she sees by the time they're eating lunch, because she's out on lunch patrol, she sees that they're eating there too.
All right. Any other? What about field trips? What about travel?
Oh, we have field trips at every grade level. Kindergarten, 1st grade have about 5 field trips off campus, and we bring a specialist in, like Abe Lincoln came in, like Martin Luther King would come in, play the part, so they're marvelous
So
trips.
we've had actors that come in that do historical recreations of speeches and give children a great opportunity to experientially see different aspects of our history.
Mm-hmm. Performing arts, Irvine for the Barclay Theater, and then we take our Sacramento trip, and 5th and 6th graders get to go to Catalina and spend 3 days over in Catalina. We're right here on the water, we might as well know what's happening.
So they do marine biology?
Exactly, over there.
Absolutely.
And then students in grade 6, 7, 8 are invited to go travel every spring. And this past year we spent 12 days over in New Zealand and Australia.
So when we're talking travel,
time.
We're talking world travel. So there's an opportunity for students to be world travelers by the time they're out of 8th grade. And this gives them a tremendous perspective, and to the point where we've had several students go on, and we had a student become a linguist and learned Mandarin Chinese, if I remember correctly.
Right.
So
last year we went to France, and the year before we did China. And in preparation for China, I went over there 2 times just to see, is this where we want to go? Yes, it's wonderful. And then, you know who I let choose? I let the 7th graders choose. So the 7th grade group now has said that they've had in their mind for the last 2 years that they want to visit Japan. So in 2011, we're going to spend our time in Japan. Now I've also learned that grade 6, 7th, and 8th can go unescorted. Mother and dad won't have to be with them. But the trips are open to all ages. So we've had 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds go along with their parents, and they've had a marvelous time. So children could really go on 3, 4, 5 long extended trips with our school before they graduate from 8th grade. Now what does that do to history? What does that do to current events? How does that open up their world?
Well, it makes things very real, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. It's wonderful.
So, outstanding.